Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rising Stars, where we interview local Montreal talent on the rise. I'm proud to say that today's interview is brought to you by Urban Eats Montreal. I'm even prouder to say that today we are interviewing Myriam Lopez. Myriam, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I remember I first started acting around 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I started joining all the Facebook acting groups and I just kept seeing your name everywhere. Myriam Lopez, Myriam Lopez, Myriam Lopez. So you're one of Montreal's most talked about actresses, to be honest with you. Tell me about the beginning of your acting journey, how it all started, where it started.
Well, actually, it started here in Mexico. I always wanted to do it, but my parents were never supportive. They're like, oh, that's not a career, you know?
Yeah.
So I ended up being a teacher. And then I came here 8 years ago and I couldn't do the teaching anymore. So I told my husband, like, I really want to go back. I missed my job. Like, I love, being a mom. I love being a wife, but something's missing.
Yeah.
And I need my career back. And then he said, well, you always wanted to do acting. Why don't you do it? And I'm like, okay. Are you sure? Yeah. So I basically went on Google 5 years ago and I typed acting classes in Montreal. And that's how I started. Like, I had no idea. Like you, I started joining all groups. The first thing I did, it was like background. I was so excited,
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, thanks. But I was really, really excited. Like, just being able to see everything, how everything is working. And then you start doing student films. And then you start doing non-union projects. And then it just escalates. Like, you start meeting people,
Of course.
But I started from Google. Like, I had no clue what to expect. It was like I just jumped in the water.
For sure.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and your husband having that support for you, it's a beautiful...
Oh, yeah. Without him, I don't think I could do it. You know how hard
For sure.
it is to be an actor?
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, you still have to pay, like...
Bills and...
More, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, thank God he can do that.
Yeah.
So I can pursue my dream. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough. I mean,
sure.
Yeah, it is tough.
And tell me about maybe the first year that you started acting. Like, what's the biggest lesson you took away from that first year finding your feet in the acting industry?
Well, to me, it was really exciting.
Yeah.
Because as I said before, like, I always wanted to do it and I was not allowed. So just for me, like, being in class, I was so happy. I was so excited, like, I was counting the days, like, I want to go back, like, so I never stopped. I have never stopped taking classes since I started 5 years ago. And I just love it. Like, to me, it was like every experience, I don't know, on Facebook, like, oh, student film, I was there auditioning,
Yeah.
Non-union, I was there. I need that, no payment, it's okay,
Yeah.
Because I was doing what I love to do. So I was allowed to do it here.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful with Canada because I could actually do what I love the most.
For sure.
But it was just happiness. The first year, only happiness.
The first year only
Only the first year, yeah.
Yeah. And you said that you've been taking classes nonstop for 5 years.
Yes.
Is it one certain class? Was there a variety of classes?
I like to try different schools.
Okay.
Some of them didn't like, so I didn't go back. Some of them I love and I still going back. And I feel some actors are like, oh, I already take so many classes. I don't need classes anymore.
Yeah.
I don't see it like that. To me, I always feel like you have some room to improve. And it's like the gym, like when you want big muscles, you work so hard. But then to maintain that, you gotta keep going.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel with acting. Like, even though I reached a level that I wouldn't imagine that I would, I still want to train.
For sure.
Just to be prepared because you don't know when an opportunity is gonna come.
Exactly.
So, and I love it. I enjoy it,
Yeah. And what's a class that's struck you the most or that's helped you the most in your career, be it improv or scene building or character building?
I love scene work.
Yeah.
But right now I'm actually taking improv. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because as actors, sometimes we are in our head so much. So improv has helped me to actually be in the moment, you know, like not thinking, not having time to think. And that has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually like scene study. Yeah.
Scene study. Beautiful. And in scene study, is there certain characters you like more? Is there certain scenes you like more, be it dramatic, comedic, certain genre?
Yeah. I love drama.
Yeah.
My friends are like, oh, Myriam, yeah, she can cry. 1, 2, 3, cry. They
Yeah.
make fun of me because I can reach the emotions pretty easily. And it comes like easy to me
Yeah.
to cry or to be vulnerable. But I love playing crazy.
Yeah.
Love it. Like psycho, crazy, killer, you name it. I have so much fun. And the one that I'm starting to do is a comedy
Okay.
because I don't feel I'm good at it. It's really hard to, you know, like to have the comedic timing and everything. But I need to be challenged.
Yeah.
So I know I can cry. I know I can look crazy. But am I funny?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I always tell my teachers to challenge me, to give me something that I'm not good at, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's how you grow as an actor.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable doing. For example, one thing that I feel really uncomfortable is kind of like being, you know, like sexy and flirting. I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't know why. So I need to work on that to feel comfortable.
For sure.
Because to me, playing crazy, it's really comfortable,
Yeah.
you know?
And we're talking about how the more comedic or the flirtatious roles are kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone, if I
Yeah.
may say.
Yeah.
Is there a certain character in a movie that you've seen that you're like if I played that, I don't know how I would do?
Well, actually, it's funny because I recently made a movie.
Okay.
And my character is very submissive and very, you know, and me, I'm the opposite. Like, I don't take,
Shit from anyone.
okay, can I,
Yeah.
yeah, shit from anyone. So to me, it was really hard to change that, you know. The director is like, you're not Myriam, you
Yeah.
know, like, you have to be, but to me, it was really hard.
Yeah.
Like, not standing up for me, you know. So it was a huge challenge. Like, even though it was drama, it was really challenging to being mistreated like that and just keeping quiet because that's not me.
Yeah.
So that was really tough.
For sure. And I always I love to ask this question because I get a view into the person's mind when you're preparing for a role or when you're on set executing that role. What's going through your head? What are you telling yourself to? Like you said, it's your instincts are like, I need to
Yeah.
defend myself, but that's not the character.
Yes.
How do you stay in character, get into character?
Usually when it's a character that needs, like, all of me sometimes are more simpler to play or whatever, so I can have conversations and stuff. But when it's a character like this, I really don't talk to anyone. You know, like I like, even though they're like, oh, cut, and then, they're joking, and, you know, I try to stay in the zone. Remembering why my character is doing this, what happened, how come, you know, like, so until I become the character.
Yeah.
And sometimes this movie was my first feature film
Feature
as a
film?
lead,
Oh,
yeah, because I've done
congratulations.
short films.
Yeah.
But this one was like the best, like the first one, you know, like
Okay.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Usually short films you do, I don't know, 2 days and you're done.
How long was the
It was
shooting
like 12 days for me.
12 days. Wow.
It was a lot.
Okay.
Like when it was my last day, I was sad, but happy at the same time. I was emotionally tired.
Yeah.
It was very tiring, you know, and I had so many hard scenes to do, and to get there, you really need to believe you're that person.
Can we know more about the movie? Is it? Are we able to?
Right now, it's in festivals.
Okay.
So I cannot really
Yeah.
it's. I don't know how
I don't
much
want to get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in
Yeah,
trouble.
I know, yeah. But so far the movie has won around 80 awards.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Only 5 are mine.
Well, that's still a lot. Yeah.
But still, like
It's 5
it's
more than
been-
I have.
I know. No, it was very challenging though.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful movie. I think it's gonna come in Montreal maybe 3 to 4 months. I'm hoping.
Okay.
So.
Okay, awesome. I look forward to seeing that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And are there any other projects on?
Right now,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually have 2 short films coming up.
Okay.
I'm a sniper in one.
A sniper.
That's the first. Yeah, I'm so excited. And I'm a cop on the other one.
Okay.
So kind of like related. Like I ended up killing people in both of them. So
Okay.
that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And so now you have 5 years experience under your belt acting
Yeah.
in Montreal. Let's say tomorrow there's a young lady who says, "Hey Myriam, I want to start acting. I'm really not sure where to start, what to do." What piece of advice would you give that
Well,
girl?
definitely training. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to train and you have to go to classes, and being in classes you meet more people and then start auditioning for student films. Many as you can. Do background too, because you realize how everything works. You know?
Yeah.
So do as much as you can. Like, oh, but I don't like that actor. Just do it. How do you know you don't like it if you don't try? And I don't know, just have fun, because I feel like sometimes actors, we are like too concerned, like, oh, this audition has to be perfect. What's perfect? Like,
Exactly.
just have fun. Honestly, when I started just having fun, I started booking more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. When you let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely training.
Training.
Yeah, I think it's super important.
And is there a certain specific set of training you would guide them to in the beginning? Maybe something you wish you had started in your first year that you only found out later? You're like, oh, this would have been great my first year.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about schools, but some schools I kind of
Yeah.
like wasted my time. But if they want, they can contact me and I can tell them in private what schools not to go.
Perfect.
And I mean, from my experience, I feel like schools are for, like so many schools, because so many people learn differently.
Yeah.
But since I'm a teacher in Mexico, I do believe that you can push your students without breaking them.
For sure. Yeah.
Being respectful.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of experiences that I didn't like. And every time I hear that school, I'm like, no, don't go there.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, just and just be you. Like,
Be
being you
genuine.
is your superpower. Like, nobody can do what you do, even if you're the same, I don't know,
Yeah.
like country, like me, for example, being Mexican. There's so many Mexicans that are actresses, and but I don't see them as my competition per se, because we are different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're each unique in our own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you were a teacher back in Mexico.
Yes.
Teaching is an extremely hard job, I've come to realize over the past 2 years.
It is.
So shout out to the teachers. But any skills that you were using in your teaching days that transferred over to your acting
To
career?
my acting,
Yeah.
not really. I feel like it's totally different.
Okay.
But maybe the way I interact with people, probably that can be something that
For sure.
being respectful, treating people as the way I want to be
Mm.
treated, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could tell you're really passionate about acting. What are some plans for the future that you would like to accomplish? Are there any certain goals? Is there a specific production, a specific city you'd like to work in?
Yeah, actually, because we know there's not so much work right now in Montreal.
Yeah.
And I feel like all the time are the same actors getting booked, even from Toronto and stuff. And so I kind of like made peace with that. Sometimes I was like really discouraged. I'm like, what's the point of like keeping training, all the time, doing non-union projects, getting awards, whatever, nominations, and then nothing happens,
Yeah.
So, because what I struggle with a lot here, as you know, I'm Mexican.
Yes.
And sometimes when they're looking for Latinas, they want, oh, but you are too white to be a Latina. And I'm like, well, if you go to Mexico, you see there's all kind of, you know, Mexicans. But again, I have an accent. So, oh, you can pass like Italian or from Spain, or but you have a Latin accent. Well, yeah, because I'm Latina.
Yeah.
So it's just like the never-ending story, you know.
Yeah.
Like you don't look like one, but you talk like that. So it's So honestly, I don't wanna put that pressure on me. Like, oh, in the future, I have to be working on this production, whatever. No, what I do wanna do is I'm actually talking to an agent in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
I want to start like opening my horizons
The
over there
global
just to
doors.
see. I mean, I'm not a tree. I can move. You know, like I
course.
talked to my husband before because of course if I get booked, and if I have to go, let's say for 3 weeks, he's gonna be by himself with kids.
For sure.
But he's like, you know what? It's okay. Like, and we're just talking about it yet. I haven't had my meeting yet, but that's my plan to have an agent in Mexico and in here and just keep acting, you know,
course.
like that makes me happy. And it doesn't matter if it's union, non-union, you know, like
Yeah.
small character, big character. I just love it. So I enjoy. So my plans are to keep acting until I can. Until my husband tells me like, no, you like we need more money, like get a job now.
Yeah.
Because you know, acting sometimes, yeah, you make money and then it's like nothing and then again and then nothing. So as
That,
long as I can do it, I'm happy with that.
for sure. And that was going to be my next question. It's funny you bring that up because I was going to say, as actors, sometimes you might get a job and then your next job's only coming in 6 months. You don't know.
Yeah.
How do you keep busy besides training?
Yeah.
What are some exercises you do maybe at home, or maybe you get together with somebody in a cafe? What are some things you do to keep busy in between projects?
Yeah. Well, usually I go with my friends and we make like, you know, Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Like we work together a
yeah,
lot. Sometimes
yeah.
we're like the same, you know, it's like, oh, like, what are you doing? Nothing. Like one time I remember 1 year ago, it was like a storm, horrible.
Yeah.
Like it was minus like 30 or something and the wind was horrible. He called me, he's like, I want to film something. You want to come? I'm like, sure. We ended up like so red, but it was so beautiful. You know, like sometimes you need people like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not planning so much. Some people are waiting for the perfect time to shoot something. And sometimes it's like, I get it. Like when you do something, you really have to take the time. But sometimes it's matter just like do it,
Yeah,
you know, just to have fun.
exactly.
So that's what we try to do. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, let's do something, or we write something, or I don't know, a TikTok, or I don't
Yeah.
know, like something to keep you busy.
Kind of create your own
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
100%. Is there anything that you'd want to create heading forward? Is it a certain character you want to play, a certain movie idea you have in
Yeah,
mind?
honestly, I would love to play a vampire.
A vampire.
That's been a dream for me since I started. And
Is there a movie you saw that kind of influenced that?
no, really. Like I've always have this obsession with vampires. I don't know why. And I would love to play one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Is there a character that you played in the past that really pushed you out of your comfort zone? Like really you were on set and you were like, I really don't know.
No, really. Just this one that I told you that
Yeah.
she's very submissive
Yeah.
because Myriam is not
Yeah.
at all. So that was a big challenge for me.
Awesome.
But then it was beautiful to actually accomplish, you know?
Yeah.
You get to understand the character and what she went through. So that's why I told you it was very emotionally tiring.
Mm.
I was like really, really tired at the end of the film. I was like, yeah, I need a break. And I didn't do anything for like a month because it was a lot.
Yeah, emotionally
It was a lot.
draining.
Emotionally draining,
Yeah.
yeah. And so much text and so much, like so many characters and that you play with and relationships with each one of them. And yeah, it's tough.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I want to ask you, what's been the highlight of your career so far? What's one of like your proudest or most fond moments acting?
I have to say this movie.
This movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, as I said, it was my first feature
Feature, yeah.
as lead. And finally I understood how much work it takes. You know, like it's different to be in a short film and just shoot like a couple of days. And this one was really, it was tough because at the beginning well, I don't want to talk too much, but let's say
Yeah,
it
no.
was a complete different cast
Okay.
from Toronto. I'm not gonna explain what happened, but she ended up like, no, I'm gonna recast. So that's how I came in the movie.
Okay.
But then first she said, oh no, she looks too young for the character. And I'm like, just let me audition. And I did it. And she called me crying. She's like, you made me cry.
Wow.
So I want you in the movie. Even though she said before, like, nah, she looks way too young for that. Because, I'm 40.
Yeah.
But some people are like, oh, but you don't look 40,
Yeah, you don't look 40.
I mean, good, but I am. So I
Yeah.
can play, like, I know how it is to be a mom. I know what it is to lose, like, a baby, like, stuff like that. So I knew I could play it. I just needed that opportunity, and she gave it to me. So when she called me, and she's like, I loved what you did. And she's like, you made me cry with that audition. I'm like, that's beautiful. When you change, like people's emotion. And then at the premiere, it was at the movies, and my husband came with me, and he was like, I know you're acting, but this is like mind-blowing,
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful to see you like that.
Yeah.
And when you see it, and you're happy, sometimes we are so hard on ourselves,
Yeah.
like, oh, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. Self-doubt creeps in.
Yeah, and that one I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it,
Yeah. Well, I think it's a testament to, as you said, all your training. You're constantly working, and yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations on
Thank
that
you.
feature film. I look forward to seeing it. You said in 3-4 months, hopefully.
Probably, I hope.
No promises, but
Yeah.
for sure. And just this interview has been really eye-opening. So I want to say thank you for that, Myriam. Thank you for
so
coming today.
much.
It was a real pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and we look forward to what your career brings in Montreal.
Yeah.
Or Mexico.
In
Yeah.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm heading more that way, in nicer weather.
Beautiful. I don't blame you. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Thank you, Myriam.
Thank you.